How you doing, Will?
I'm good, how are you, Gabe?
Yeah, good, mate. How has life been going for you?
Life's been going pretty busy, that's good.
Yeah, busy. What have you been up to?
I guess running a few programs in schools and hosting a few events here and there.
Yeah. Tell me more about that. So, first of all, for the audience here, so this is not really a podcast style. How we did it with Anna, how we do it with the other podcasts is now we've done it into a TV show series. So there's a camera there, that's a TV camera. And how we've been doing it is, I look at the camera, I look at you, and it's just a chill chat. So that's the style of the podcast. It's something different, yeah. Before I go on to a bit about you, I bought this and I used it with the last interviewer. So basically what it is it's a roulette spinner. Now, have you ever played roulette before?
No.
How old are you?
17.
It's just 17, of course. Well, you don't gamble when you're 17. But if you ever do it, the concept is that there's usually a ball and you spin it around and it either lands on red or black.
Okay.
We're not, and this is a shot version one. I got it for $5 from this local store. We're not going to do shots because you're 17 and because it's the middle. It's
10.
It's 8:20 in the morning. It's never too early. So what we're going to do is we spin it. If it lands on red, I can ask you any question I want. Like I can ask you anything about your personal life and you have to answer it.
Cool.
If it lands on black, then you can do the same to me. So red, you lose. Black, I lose. I'll let you do the honors. So how else? Just do 3 spins fast. Nice.
Where's the arrow?
Black. So the arrow's there. So the arrow landed on black. That means that I get to ask you a question. No, that means that you have to ask me a question.
Okay.
I lost.
Yeah, you lost.
Damn it. Okay.
Question for you. Who is the one person you would sit down and have a main meal with?
A meal with?
Yeah.
Just a brunch or?
Yeah.
Go out for breakfast, or is there a specific meal?
Nah, breakfast.
Breakfast. All right, it has to be breakfast. Okay, and I have to go out with them. Probably the one person that I find the most interesting to speak to. Good or bad at decisions. I don't want to just say Tony Robbins because that's such a classic answer.
Yeah.
So my thinking process is probably someone more and more interesting. I really want to speak to a young entrepreneur. So at the moment, I would like to sit down with Jack Bloomfield, and he isn't necessarily a huge online presence, but he's got a pretty big presence in Australia. Have you heard of Jack Bloomfield? Yeah. He does dropshipping, nothing new, but I think he is televised. He's got connections everywhere in Australia, and I really want to connect with him and hear, because he's younger, he's your age.
He's 17.
He's 17, yeah. So I'd love to sit down with him at the moment. Spin this again. Have you heard of Jack Bloomfield?
I've seen him on Instagram one day.
Oh yeah, well that's it, right? All right, red, brilliant. So I'm going to ask you a question. You graduated school. If there was one thing you do differently in grade 12, what would that be?
Drop out at the start.
Drop out at the start? Why is that?
I spent the whole year 12 actually in school and didn't. Well, I knew from the start I wasn't going to achieve the necessary requirements to pass school.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I also enjoyed school very much because of my friends.
You enjoyed school with your friends?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And are your friends, just on building on the topic, are your friends sort of supportive on the idea of what you've been trying to achieve recently?
Yeah.
Or do they understand it?
I wouldn't say they understand it, but not many people do. Outside of the sort of leadership space.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're very supportive. Like, they understand that I don't really have as much time as I would like.
Right.
And things like that.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's a respectful group of friends.
Yeah.
Where were you born, first of all?
I was born in country Western Australia, 2 hours south of Perth.
2 hours south of Perth. So you're a farmer boy?
No, I'm not a farm boy. I'm like the country kid that belongs in the city. Very not farming, very not camping, very not outdoors. Anyways, I went to Magic Moments Youth Leadership Business Summit in 2016. Really discovered sort of more about myself and more about what I can achieve.
Context on YouTube, MMF or Magic Moments Foundation. It's just a business seminar event where 13 to 17-year-olds come together, and the speakers.
200 young people, 10 different countries. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy, and it's next level. And most people come not wanting to be there, and they leave not wanting to leave. So one of those crazy events that you should check out.
And then from there I left and started really developing an aviation consulting website, Planopedia. I had the mission of helping people become more prepared during air travel. Okay. Because there's a lot of stress surrounding that. I ended up partnering with Qantas and Singapore Airlines as their media rep in Perth. And then on from that, I launched Youth Leadership Academy in year 11 at the start because I was choosing my subjects. The subjects weren't really in relation to what I wanted to do, and it really prevented me from doing a lot of things. So I thought, if not me, then who? And if not now, then when?
Right.
And I started Youth Leadership Academy and now host events around Australia and leadership programs in schools.
That's awesome. So you actually, you found now this, I've interviewed 3 people so far, same thing, same pattern. There's a problem, and they face the problem, and they go down the path, the decision-making process. I'm assuming you went through where, do I keep the problem and work the inconvenience of it, or do I solve it?
Yeah.
And it sounds like you had the problem of what subject do I choose? There was nothing related to business and leadership. Those are probably the 2 areas.
There was a business management course, but like in their marketing section, it didn't even cover social media.
It didn't even cover social media.
In 2018.
Yeah. Well, that, of course it doesn't. And so you decided to create this leadership camp. And when was this, so we get an idea of time frame wise?
I first sent the first message on the 21st of January last year, 2018.
2018 last year. So you started, that was the first message?
That was the first message, and then we officially launched on the 8th of Feb.
How many months was that between the idea and the turnaround? 3 weeks. 3 weeks?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If I had my time again, I probably wouldn't change it, but maybe I wouldn't, because it worked out quite perfectly.
It worked out well.
So I had the idea in about October, I would say, but I didn't act on it because I had no accountability. So as soon as I sent that first message, things started turning over. I developed a business plan and started building this one-day event in Perth that surrounded the core values of leadership, entrepreneurship, communication and teamwork. And then when we launched, it sort of just started ringing schools every single day for the next 3 months.
How many rings to actual answers to sale or to bookings?
I think we called about, let's say, 120 schools in Perth. We had the calling list, and we ended up with 3 schools there on the first event.
On the first event, 3 schools?
Yeah.
So 3 schools actually, teachers came and brought their students to you?
Yeah, so we had 65 attendees at the first event.
That's not bad for a conversion.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So what's your recommendation on connecting with, networking with, so if I want to run an event, or if anyone wants to run a school event, which I'm sure a lot of people have that idea, what's your recommendation of getting started? I think a lot of people come with the idea phase, including myself. What comes to the next step in connecting with? Who do you connect with? Do you connect with people?
I guess the number one thing, so in the last 4 weeks, we've sold out 250 tickets. Which we sold 270 in the first tour altogether. But the thing that's changed dramatically between them 2 tours is our professionality. Schools value that a lot. So
they value professionality?
Yes. Okay. So we've had to update all our safety risk management plans and put them all online so they can view them instantly, which builds instant credibility. And also the WA government have supported us and provided us letters.
You're supported by funding, sorry, or did you say?
Like recommendations.
Wow, cool.
So they recommend us as the program.
And so how did you cultivate those relationships? Was that just from word of mouth?
Anna Rich, your previous podcast interviewer.
Of course, yeah.
She went to the gym with Minister Tinley, who is a Minister for Youth in Western Australia.
Yeah.
And she's brought us up when she was living in Perth, of course. And then he asked for a press release and we sent it to him and we got a meeting with him. I guess the first thing would be establishing the professional and branding and making sure that
establish that stuff first before reaching out.
Because as soon as you reach out, there's no really being able to turn back a first impression. You never get a second chance to have a first impression, which is what I've made sure that we've had every single venue booked before we've been able to contact anyone.
Yeah. And you say you have a team of people, I'm assuming?
Yeah. So,
how did you come with recruiting people at 16 or 17 did you start?
I'll start 15.
15, so you're 15 and you start recruiting. How did that come from?
When I first started, there was Maddie Hedwick.
Yep.
I knew her through I sponsored her to an event. And we became really quite close and worked together, and she was very motivational and empowering. And she was only 19. And we worked together to host the first event alongside the WA what was at the time crew coordinator, which we knew through another program. And then I guess once we decided that we wanted to go national, it was sort of unrealistic for me to do it by myself.
Yeah.
So I really started looking out and watching sort of the space and seeing who was doing what. And that's when I started approaching people that I already knew within my network through Magic Moments and through programs like that, to then reach out and say, look, do you want to manage Victoria? Do you want to manage WA? Do you want to manage Australia?
Is there any recommendations for finding people that share that vision, or finding people that to join your team? Or is it just a matter of reaching out?
I guess for me, it was more about finding them internal connections that are already in the space of youth leadership and youth development. Because it's very hard to find employees that are going to have as much drive as you, and you're never going to be able to find that.
I don't think, it's possible.
Because it's your baby, sort of.
Yeah.
But if they're already sort of in that space of where you're working, they already have a bit of idea of what your vision is, and they're a bit more connected to it than what you would find on Seek Indeed.
Yeah.
So with my youth leadership programs, I pretty much wake up every day and excited to start developing them a bit more.
Yeah.
I had none of that with the 18 to 25-year-old event, and it was always pushed to the side beside youth leadership development, which I found time and time again because of we were obviously increasing sales with the other event, and it meant more people were reaching. We were starting to find new venues because the venues were too big, too small, which really sort of empowered me just to say that there's going to be a huge amount of young people at these events, and they need our full attention. So
this series I've named Business Badasses, or that's the podcast name.
Cool.
What are your thoughts?
I like it.
So this is season 1. It hasn't been released yet. I'm recording them all together with people I find that would be valuable in this series, and it's called the 10K series. The 10K series, the whole idea is, do you know what I'm about to say?
I was meant to watch it. And it's...
I haven't put it out.
That's why I didn't watch it. I was wondering why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, why didn't you watch it? So the 10K series is basically, you have 30 days to make $10,000. And the whole idea is that the situation is you lost everything, you lost all your money, you still can have your connections, you lost all your money. How would you, and you cried, you screamed, you got that all out of your system, and you're broke, you're at zero, and you decide, that's it, this month I'm going to make $10,000.
Okay.
And the whole idea is, how would you do that? I'd like to hear how you would do it, especially with your context about how you have found raising and creating wealth.
I have the most standard response in my head. That's absolutely no innovation whatsoever.
Let's hear it.
Actually, it could be. So when I was 10, 11, I literally sold cookies around the street.
Yeah.
With one friend, because we wanted to go to the Royal Show, which is I don't really know what you call it here. It's the theme park, which they just set up for a week, and it has you pay $20 for a ride. It's extremely expensive. But we just started doing random stuff like sell cookies and stuff. But I guess for me, what I would do on the basis that it takes half an hour to wash a car, I'd wash the car for $20, and I'll do that 10 times a day. So that would be
$200 a day.
$200 a day. But after 10 days, I'd hire 2 other people, 2 young kids, charge them.
Let's do the math for a second.
Yeah, let's do the math.
So you're doing $10 a car, you say, or $20?
$20.
$20 a car, 10 cars a day. That's probably achievable, assuming that most people would be studying or at a job.
Yeah.
We get the time to do 10 cars. So it's 200 by 7 is 1.4k a week, which is more than most people, or the standard kind of wage anyways. And you want to hire 2 people now.
Yeah, so I've just hired 2 kids.
You've hired 2 kids to do the job for you.
Yeah.
How much are you going to pay them?
I'm paying them $10 a car.
Right.
No, actually, $10 an hour.
$10 an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
On the basis that it takes half an hour to wash a car.
Is it possible to find a kid that is willing to do it for $10 an hour? I feel like that probably would be.
Yeah, we're looking So I always had the problem when I was young that I couldn't get a job soon enough.
Yeah.
I wanted income. I really wanted income, and I couldn't get a job until I was 14, 13 and a half, which really annoyed me. So I think there's a really big market there of young people really wanted to start that income stream early.
Right, yeah.
And I'm not underpaying them, but I'm really trying to let them sort of step into actually empowering them to make an income. So I'm going to revert back to $10 a car, so then they know the more work they do, it sort of has that that also motivation of working harder and faster, so then we increase efficiency.
Right, yeah.
So now my income's down to $10 a car.
It is.
But I can do 3 cars a day because I have 2 employees and myself.
Right.
So I'm making $40 a car, $40 a half an hour.
Yeah.
Yep. How many hours?
How many cars are you doing a day now?
We're doing 3 cars per half an hour.
3 cars every half an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, I gotcha. You need a calculator for this thing.
Yeah, I know. How many hours can I work in a day? So we're going to go max. We'll go
6.
6?
If you say, because I feel like that's a realistic number versus most people that don't have 18 hours in a day.
And our poor kids. So I'm going to do 12 cars per half an hour. No,
12 cars
per day per person.
12 cars per person per day, so 36 a day.
Yeah.
So you can do 36 a day, and you reckon you could probably get the demand. And let's assume that that's all done for you. Let's even put it back a bit. Let's say you can get 30 a day, keep the numbers clean.
30 a day, yeah.
And let's say you get your weekends off as well now.
Okay.
So you can do 30 by 5 days a week. That's 150.
Yeah.
That's 150.
By 20.
By 20.
It's 3,000
a week.
Wow.
Now, if you do the math, 3,000 a week, and we haven't accounted for costs yet, but 3,000 a week by 4 is 12 grand. I mean, I get that we hired people, but this is still a month process, 12 grand. So that is...
Well, that included the wages.
Oh, that included the wages?
Yeah.
Why haven't we done this yet?
I know.
Why is this like not... Is this possible?